this video, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite concepts, making errors. What does an error mean? What makes something an error, a mistake? An error means there's something correct, right, true. An error is the opposite. It's not the fact, it's not true, it's not correct. However, errors have certain qualities that make it very special, very precious. Because correctness, the correct answer, the correct point, correct idea, the correct thing is just one, and it is closed. If something is correct, it's full stop. That stays there. It's there, fixed, because it's correct. Doesn't go anywhere else. But if it is an error, it has certain characteristics. For example, it's open. If it is not correct, then we should correct it. So there are infinite errors. There are infinite ways of making errors, whereas there's only one way to make it correct. So I like the fact that errors are open to change, to learning. And errors are also authentic. Every one of us, each time we make an error, make a unique error. There are very few errors that people make in the same way. So depending on our characteristics, depending on our learning, depending on our thinking, our errors reflect who we are. They are one of the most authentic aspects of us. And even we don't make the same error. Sometimes we do, but most of the time our errors change because we change. So I like the fact that errors are authentic. And they are also dynamic. There's nothing to explore further in the correctness, the correct answer, correct way, correct idea. It stops there, full stop. But with the error, we can explore why we make that error. What leads us to that error? What were we thinking? What were our experiences? Where does this come from? Why now? And also, it's dynamic because then we need to explore on how I can get out of this, how I can go to correctness, to the correct from here. So both in terms of why we make it and how we can get rid of it, how we can correct it, it displays a dynamic nature. And there are also some very positive side effects. For example, when we make an error, we have to accept the fact that we made an error. This is a great step forward. Many times we resist accepting reality or whatever we have done. We try to find excuses. Accepting that we made an error indicates a maturity and acceptance of us and the world outside us and the action, the error that we made on it or because of it. So this acceptance is something very positive. And then if we also need to apologize, apologizing is a great virtue. Not many of us can apologize easily. We don't know how to apologize. So apologizing is a sign of maturity, is a step forward maturity. And sometimes we need to correct our mistakes, errors, and that leads to creativity. We have to find really creative ways to correct our errors. What else? In a broader sense, it helps us to place ourselves in a context of our environment, life, relationships, and have a better appreciation of ourselves and of the context. So errors are useful.